That took a minute. Okay. I don't know who's here today, but I am Tia Faire, idol-philosopher and justice incarnate. And today I'm doing a chatting stream. My first chatting stream in quite a while. About a month, I think. Hi Tia, hi Leon. Wait, why is chat not showing? Oh, there it is. There it is. For a second I was like, is it not working? What was I gonna say? Right, my first chatting stream in a month, and honestly, I'm not ready. I was just gonna mention, yeah, the chat box, yeah, I see myself. And I am a fully realized chatter. Yeah, took a while to show up. Got me worried for a sec. But what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say again. Oh yeah, my first chatting stream in a month, and I'm not ready. I don't feel ready. Which is why I haven't been. I mean, this is why I haven't been doing chatting streams, because I feel like they're a lot more pressure, I think, than doing gaming streams. Because when I play a game, I can just, I don't know, the game does the heavy lifting for me, and I can just comment on whatever is going on the screen, and whereas when I'm doing a chatting stream, it's completely unstructured, and that's why I've been avoiding doing chatting streams for a while, because I just feel like it's a lot of it takes a toll on my mental health, and sometimes I don't know if they're worth doing. I scheduled one for this week because it's been so long and I felt like I had some things to share, but now I feel like I'm not ready. I actually delayed the stream by an hour today because I wanted more time to prepare, but I still feel like I'm not ready, and but I don't feel like I couldn't really delay the stream anymore. So here we are. Always good to hear from Justice though. Well, you are my husband, so you're hearing from Justice every day technically. But and I don't know, it doesn't look like anyone else is here right now. So we could literally be like in the same room, and like instead of me streaming, and nothing would change. But the first thing I wanted to talk about today was my vacation, because Leon and I in fact went on a small trip last week, and that's why I wasn't streaming. And I wasn't sure at first if I wanted to talk about my trip or how much I wanted to share, but in the end I figured I'll say a little bit about it, not too much, not everything, and I even have a few pictures to show. I'm just getting that set up right now. I should have imported the source beforehand, but things were kind of coming down to the wire today. Let me just take a minute to do that. Well, that's not the chat. That's the chat box. I'd better not mess with that. I want image slideshow. And then I will. Actually, I should put up my easel first. I want that. Okay, and then now I can add the directory. Slideshow. It's probably gonna be a bit too big at first because... What? It is? Oh, I see. Well... Okay. Now add directory. And... no, it was this. Can you guys see that? Ah! No, I don't want that. Stop. Yabai. Not automatic. I want manual. Dang OBS. Yeah, now it won't let me click on it. Oh wait, no, there we go. I want to make it like this. So, Leon and I, in fact, went to a nature reserve. Not too far from where we live. Maybe like a couple hours out by train. Can I fit this better into that? No, wait. No wonder. Okay. I want to fit this better inside the frame. Face. Animal attack. That face should be a Discord emoji. Speaking of Discord. Let me... I'm live chatting about my with six if anyone wants to see. Leon, you had the same idea as me. How are we on the so on the same wavelength? Is it because we've been married for like 5 years? Anyway. Yeah, we went to a nature reserve that with animals there, of course. They had an animal sanctuary. All of the animals there were rescue animals, such as this one you see here. This is a yak. I forgot his name. All of the animals had names. When we got there, they gave us this like kind of like a pamphlet with all of the animals' names and there were like their portraits on them, so you could tell who was who. They had 2 yaks. I don't have a picture of the other one. They had a boy and a girl. They were siblings, and this one is the boy. Maybe you can tell by the fact that he has really big horns and his sort of bold facial expression. He was very food. The boy was more motivated. Was definitely more food motivated when than the girl. They allowed us to feed the animals with certain things, and I think Leon brought bananas for the yaks. So I think this was when the yak could tell that we had a banana, and this was what he did. He put his chin over the fence and looked at us with those bulging eyes like, hey, give that to me. Howdy, hi Zero. How are you? Well, actually, I took it from Discord that you might be having a rough day, but we can talk about it if you like, or talk about something else to get your mind off it. Right now, I'm just sharing photos from the trip I had last week. Leon and I went to a nature reserve, not too far from where we live. Cute cow. Hi, Sam. Yeah, I guess actually, now that you mention it, I wonder how closely related yaks are to cows. It must be similar, right? Because they got the horns, they got the face. I think the main difference that I can tell is that yaks are just extra furry. I think it makes them cuter. Honestly, you guys should have seen them in person. It was hard to resist petting them because they're so fluffy. I think they don't like being petted. I tried to reach out to both of them, but they didn't really understand petting. Or maybe they only accept pets from their handlers, not like random strangers. The cow was adorable. I know, right? Look at the face he's making. And then aside from yaks, they also had let me go to the next picture. Wait, actually, first let me just take a moment to move this a little. It's not letting me do that. OBS-kun, please. Is that better? That's good enough. Okay, the next one. They also had chickens. This is such a funny picture how I was looking at you. I know, wait, yeah, I'll go back to it for a sec. Yeah, it's like, I'm so glad I got this shot. Like, can you believe the way this boy like just looks at you, especially when he can tell that you have food? Because I don't think he does this normally. Like if you're just there, but we were coming up to the two of them with bananas, and then he was like, "Oh, what do you have there? Can I have some of that?" Yeah, I'm glad I got that on camera. He wanted her food, yeah. And I managed to hand feed one of them too. Not the boy, because he was a little scary. Look at how greedy he was. I fed his sister. I hand fed his sister. She was a little more demure and gentle. That was really cool. They also had some chickens. Now, I will preface this by saying that Leon and I also had the opportunity to see chickens up close when we went to Vancouver, because they have actually a really nice kind of like zoo in Vancouver as well, where the chickens free roam, so you can feed them and even pet them if you get lucky. So compared to the one in Vancouver, this area did not have as many chickens. It was like a much smaller area in general, and the one in Vancouver had quite a variety of different breeds of chickens. This reserve only had one, I think, breed of chicken. They were all kind of like the same. And what am I trying to say? And I think all of the chickens were descended from two chickens, like a rooster and a hen. So all of the chickens were like the progeny of that original couple that they rescued, I think. And it was actually kind of weird because there were, I think, a total of 4 roosters and 3 hens on the like in their like property and the enclosure. And like one of the roosters, this isn't like the best picture, but like the one you guys see, like the rooster that's like in the middle there, that was like the head rooster, and you could tell because he was like the biggest and probably the oldest. And he would like chase all the other 3 roosters who were like smaller and had like a different coloring away from the hens. It was like it was like so weird, because like you would think that like it would be more fair if there was just one hen for every rooster, but it was like the head rooster was like hogging all the hens for himself. Like those were like his women. He didn't want any of the roosters getting near them. Kind of made me feel like maybe it's probably a good thing that humans aren't like that, at least not anymore. Chickens. Fun fact, my dad used to have pet chickens. It's really cool. Did you grow up with them, or was this like before you were born? Because I know my Leon's mom also grew up with chickens, but Leon like never did. It was like when she was little and like lived with her parents. By the way, Zero, did you see the? I think I'm not gonna pull it up just because I can't be bothered. But if you see the my holiday return stream that I did in January, I showed pictures of me hand feeding chickens there as well. Leon says not to do reality convo, but if humans acted this way, so doesn't have a huge impact on polygamy. No, not the polygamy. What? Every stream just becomes a polygamy debate. Why? And then apart from chickens, okay, and then this was the last animal type that we met. Finally, they had pigs. So cows slash yaks. Same difference, I guess. Cows, yaks, chickens, and pigs. All the classic farm animals. So they had 3 pigs, and they all had names and different personalities. So how it worked with the pigs was the pigs and the chickens actually mostly shared a space. It was locked behind a gate that you had free access to. So you didn't need to be like accompanied by the staff members there to go inside. Like you can go in whatever you want as long as you had signed like the waiver. And the gate was like clearly labeled pig pen, and they also had a sign saying like please be careful to lock the gate after you. Don't let the pigs out or else the pigs will escape. I was like, okay. And then Leon and I, we came up to the pig pen like and then for the first time, and then like it wasn't even like a minute later when like all 3 of the pigs came out at once. Like we could see them running at us from the distance, like not even a minute after we come. Like we like didn't think, like we thought, I thought that they'd be way less interested in us. But they saw slash heard us and they instantly came running. And I was like, oh no, like how are we going to get inside the pig pen now? Because if they're all like right in like they basically started like spawn camping right inside the gate. And we were like, okay, but if we open the gate now, they're just gonna like leave. So I think eventually we managed to make it work, and we went inside and took pictures of them. So there were 3 pigs, and a special mention goes to the one in the middle there, the one looking up directly at the camera. Her name was Miss Daisy, and she was very affectionate. Like she would keep staring at us like that, looking up and staring at us, much like a dog. I don't know like how many of you guys have dogs or have spent a lot of time around dogs, but like, you know how dogs often like look up at people like very endearingly like that. So Miss Daisy did the same. And I actually looked it up and read that pigs are quite intelligent. I think more intelligent than dogs in some cases. So similar affectionate behavior. It was really sweet actually. She continued looking at us that way even after we after Leon and I like she was looking, she was like, okay, like this is how it was. She was like right inside the gate looking at us just like that as we were getting into the cab and like leaving forever. And I felt so bad because like, you know, I was like, oh, she's like, you know, she for all we know, like she thinks we're ditching her because we don't love her enough. I wish I could explain to her like, no, it's, you know, it's I'm sorry, Miss Daisy, but we just live very far away, so this is goodbye. But you were very nice and we enjoyed our time here. The other 2 pigs were not quite so affectionate around humans, though they were still gentle. One of them gave me a boop with its snout on my leg, which unfortunately also smeared some mud on me, it being a pig. Yeah. Zero says, my friend takes care of pigs. Really? Where does your friend live? Like in an urban area or like in a more rural area? I'm gonna guess rural, because it would be kind of hard to take care of pigs if you live in the city, unless you maybe only have like 1 or 2, or probably more like 1. Yeah, is there anything else I wanted to say about the reserve itself? I guess not really. I mean, so yeah, we saw the animals, and the animals were nice. It was nice overall. Yeah, the only thing I have to complain about was that there were so many mosquitoes and I got so many mosquito bites. I've been ranting about this. I ranted about this on Discord. I also ranted about it in my Unicorn Overlord stream earlier this week. But long story short, I got so many mosquito bites. I was bitten worse than I have in years and years. Like last time, it was that bad. I was like a little kid. I honestly wasn't expecting it to be that bad. The last few years, whenever Leon and I went out, even in the summer, he would always get bitten way more than me because he has like blood type O. And I've read that mosquitoes apparently prefer blood type O. I don't think I have blood type O, and furthermore, I had a lot of health issues, and I think the mosquitoes could tell, so they would, as long as they had their pick, they would like avoid me and bite the person whose blood is not like basically toxic. But I've been getting a lot healthier this year, and that was not something I accounted for when we went. So I think that they could tell that they were like, Tia's blood is delicious now. Let's get her. And so I came back with so many bites. I was in so much agony for the first few days after coming back. It's one of the reasons I decided not to stream again until this week. But thankfully I'm mostly better now. The hero says, well, there are a lot of farms in my state that are kind of small. Oh, I didn't realize that about New Jersey, being not American and all. That's pretty neat. So I guess that means that like even if you lived in the city, like if you really wanted to, you wouldn't have to go far to see a small farm. It's just pretty cool. Pigs do need a fair bit of space from what I have observed. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It would be kind of hard to have a pig that size in like an apartment. And she works to rehabilitate animals, so to speak. So the farm isn't very big. It's cool that she rehabilitates animals. I think like the people who own this reserve like do the same thing. Like I said this at the beginning, but these were all rescue animals, every single one of them. So I'm not sure exactly how or under what circumstances each of them were rescued, but yeah. So basically they it was like a I'm not exactly sure what the full story is, but basically they had a bunch of rescue animals and decided to turn it into a sort of like tourist destination to help fund the cost of rescuing and raising the animals, which was really neat. I was kind of happy to be able to contribute to that. The animals were all very gentle. Like, I mean, I'm not sure if they're being rescued, like their status as rescue animals contributes to their like temperament, but they were all really sweet. Mosquitoes love you too, that sucks. They didn't used to. Like not for a long time, not for many years, especially while I had health issues. So I'm thinking it may have been caused by the health issues. So it really threw me for a loop when I got as many bites as Leon this time. I guess now I know what to expect in the future. I'm a healthy target. Well, Kai says congrats on the health boost. Thank you. Even if it did make you more appealing to the bugs. Yeah, I mean, like, it is... the health boost is a net positive. I can't complain overall. I'm not going to be constantly exposed to mosquitoes, right? You know? Since I'm quite a homebody. I don't often go out and... you know, and stuff, and even if I do, from now on, if it's like in the summer and in the evening, I can just always remember to wear like long-sleeved clothing or like insect repellent. Actually, I was, you know what really sucked? I was wearing like leggings when we went out, when we were there. I was wearing leggings that, you know, obviously were, you know, covered my whole legs, and I thought that, and I was wearing like a long sleeve jacket too, and I thought like, okay, because my arms and legs are covered, I should be okay. Maybe I'll only get 1 or 2 bites on like on my hands or something like that. I didn't know mosquitoes could bite through clothes. I got so many really bad bites on my legs. I think on Friday or so. Was that Friday? It was like maybe Thursday night after we came back, and because I think that was that was when Axe was streaming and I was complaining to Axe. A couple of the bites on my legs had swollen up so much. It was like a red welt covering like my entire leg. Like my entire leg was red. I think I'm allergic to mosquito bites because it was really bad. And I was so pissed off because I didn't know mosquitoes could bite through clothes, but I think they can bite through like skin tight clothing, like leggings. So in the future, if I'm in that situation again, I'm gonna wear like long loose clothing, like like a puffy jacket, like a light puffy jacket, and like a maxi skirt. I'm gonna see how that goes. I'm thinking that'll help, because if you think about it, wearing like a maxi skirt is just like it's like wearing a mosquito net on your legs. That's how it works, right? All her animals are rescues too. Aw, that's really neat. Maybe if you next time you see her, you could take some pics of the animals and share with the Karis Discord. I'm sure we'd all like to see. I love animals. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So the reserve was great. Other than the mosquito bites, it was really nice to see all the animals. Leon, if if you have anything else you want to your own opinions about it or any details, I'm leaving out that. Wait, actually don't, well, maybe not details, because don't mention anything that might serve to dox us. But if you want to comment on your experience and how you liked it, feel free. Weird looking dog. It act like a dog. The pig in the middle was called Miss Daisy, and she was very affectionate. She would keep looking up at you, just like doggies do. It was really sweet. I felt really bad about leaving her behind. And hello, Bello. How are you today? I'm just, as you can see, I'm just sharing my vacation pics from the trip I took last week. I feel like I've gotten to the end of the animal pics though. We had a yak, 2 yaks actually, this is one of them. Some chickens and some pigs as well. And then, so while we were out of town, aside from the reserve, we also went to the shopping mall. We took a break from the reserve to go to a nearby mall, just to like grab some food and like stuff like that. And I have a picture from there as well. Those of you who are on Discord, either mine or the Library of Alexandria, may have already seen this. But the story behind this was, what did I do? Okay, we had food, and then I wanted to do some shopping as well. And I saw this dress in a store. I'm not sure if I should say which one, but I saw this dress in a store and I was like, I think I kind of like this style. I think I could use more dresses in this style. So so I went to like try it on to make sure it like fits okay, because it wasn't like super cheap or anything. It was like $25, which is Canadian, which is not like super cheap or super expensive. I was like, okay, I should probably try this on to make sure it fits. Because an issue that I've had with dresses in the past is that like I have kind of like an hourglass figure, so something that often happens to me is that like shirts or dresses that fit around the waist like choke me to death around the chest area. So in theory I'm like a size maybe like medium. I used to be small when I was like younger, but I've learned that in a lot of cases I can't just like go by size. I have to like try it on to make absolutely sure it fits, so that the thing I buy doesn't go to waste. So anyway, I tried it on, and then I was afraid that Leon wouldn't want to buy the dress for me because it was like too much money. So I had the idea to take a selfie while I was in the change room and post it on Discord. I think I said like, please tell me if I should buy this dress and answer fast because I'm literally in the change room right now. And I think zero, you were there. I think you said you and like Hannah said yes, buy the dress. And I was like, okay. And then I left to the change room with the dress, and then I showed the pic to Leon, and I was like, see, like, doesn't this look good? People are saying I should buy the dress. And then we bought it. What are you guys saying? They're grunts and outrunning the pigs were funny. Yeah, pigs are they can be kind of scary, but they can be pretty charming as well. Like, pigs are so cute. Yeah, they can be very cute. Jeez, it wasn't that expensive. The tactics, Tia tactics. Yes, that dress was so cute. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. That means a lot, especially since I know you're the resident lesbian of the library, as we all know. That means a lot coming from you. Yeah, I realized that I like clothes in this style. I think they're called like milkmaid dresses or milkmaid tops, the ones that like have that. I don't know that much about fashion or like textile work, so I don't know all the exact jargon, but like you know, they have the bust is like kind of like sewn in that way. It's like a little frilly, and it shows like a bit of cleavage. I think clothes like that look flattering on me, so I'm trying to buy a few more things in that style, knowing that they look good on me. And then wait, did we do anything else cool at the mall? Is there anything else worth mentioning about the mall other than clothes? I don't think there was anything else in particular. I do have. I'm not sure if you would call this a story. Maybe more like a realization to share, though. So Leon and I went to the mall, and then I remember as we were leaving, I was feeling so happy. I was like, wow. Like, I had such a great time at the mall today. And I was like thinking about why that was. Because I honestly felt better than I had in, I think, a long while. And I was like, that's kind of weird, because like all I've done is just walk through a mall for a couple hours, and I like ate some food, and I like, I don't know, I like bought a dress. Like, that's not like, you know, that's not like something like super crazy, right? But it kind of made me realize, because, okay, just for context, something that I've been struggling with lately is feeling like I need to be the best at some. Like, I need to be like the best at things. Does that make any sense? I got called out on this, actually. Well, sort of called out on this on like Discord, I think before leaving. So I think actually there were like kind of like two examples of this happening. One was Ari from Karis's community suggested that I do a cover of Stranger Than Heaven, which is like apparently the new the theme song from the new like game, like by the Yakuza devs. And I listened to the example cover of it that he linked, and I was like, well, I don't think that this is really my style. And also the cover that he linked was so good that I felt like since like I felt that I wouldn't be able to do a better job than it, and because of that, it wasn't really like worth doing. And then Ari was like, "Well, I don't really think it's a competition," and I was like, "Yeah, why do I make everything a competition for myself? Like, why do I feel like I have to be like the best at something, or else it's like not good enough?" And I was kind of struggling with that mentality before leaving on my trip. And then Leon and I went to the mall and I had such a great time. And then it made me kind of realize like, okay, wait. It's not like I had a good time because I am good at walking through malls. It's not like I had fun because I am the best at like walking through malls. Like that's not how it works. And then I kind of realized that I think I've just been maybe living life with the wrong mentality for all these years, and maybe life is more about just finding a way to enjoy yourself day to day. Just find a way of living that works for you and that can bring you peace each and every day. Because if you think about it, like, what is the point of trying to be the best at everything if you're stressed out and miserable every day? Like, should that be the point of life? And when I thought about it that way, it made a lot of sense. But not until I had that trip to the mall. So because of that, I'm really glad that I went on vacation. I really hesitated to at first because it was a little weird being away from YouTube and being away from my normal community. I did miss it, but at the same time, I don't know. I think it was a much needed break in the end. And I also think it says a lot about me that, honestly, as nice as the animals were, I think the mall was probably my favorite part of the trip. And I feel like it says a lot about me that, yeah, about how much of a city girl I am, that was the case. Anyway, unless Leon has anything to add, that's probably all I wanted to say about my vacation. We only went, we didn't go for the full week or anything. It was only a small vacation, so that was pretty much all we did. I don't think there's anything else of note to mention. But aside from that, I did have a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Now I am a little, I guess, maybe nervous because I no longer have visual guides to lean on. But how should I do this actually? Let me give me a moment to think about this. Okay. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna trim this out. If this shows something it's not supposed to, I'm gonna trim this out of the VOD. That didn't work. I need to... What? Why is it doing this to me? Okay, let me change the source. That doesn't work the way I wanted it to. You know what? It's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I wanted to pull up this statement that I made a couple weeks ago and say a little bit about this. So like it says, a little while ago, I was getting some parasocial behavior that made me feel kind of uncomfortable, and I hesitated a little bit as to whether I wanted to like point it out at all, and if so, how I should go about it. In the end, I decided to do so because it is. I'm the kind of person that feels better confronting issues, and rather than just kind of like ignoring them and hoping they go away. I will say that thankfully the reception to this was very positive overall, which made me really happy. I wasn't exactly sure what the reaction would be, but to me this affirmed that I have a community that is mostly kind of like on my wavelength and shares my values and all that good stuff. I did notice that 1 or 2 people unsubscribed from me in the aftermath of my making this post, which was not unexpected, and honestly, it's probably the most relieved that I've ever been to see my sub count go down, because I mean, I think I tried to be very even-handed in this statement and not like shame anybody or like insult anybody. Like I tried to be very understanding and respectful. So if despite that somebody just has an issue with me like putting my foot down on parasocial behavior, then they probably don't really belong in my community anyway. So it is what it is. One point that I want to clarify is about the idea that streamers should not make friends with their fans, because that is a thing that I said, and I think, what am I trying to say here? I feel like that's the kind of, I feel like the full rationale for that was beyond the scope of that post, and it is the kind of thing that could get like misconstrued by people, and I wanted to clarify that when I say that streamers in general, like not just me specifically, but streamers in general, don't make friends with fans and shouldn't be friends with their fans, I'm not like saying that to be mean or to be like, you know, because like I think I'm better than other people. It's not like haha, like, you know, like you're not like like allowed to be friends with me because like I'm being snobby and elitist. It's not like that. What it is that I think that contrary to the, I guess, misconception that some people have, that like because, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I mean, I hate to belabor this point, but like the impetus for this post was like me getting some weird messages from people saying like, who just like they hadn't even started watching me for a week, and they were like, "Hey, like Tia, you and I are already friends, right?" And I'm like, "Wait, no, what the fuck?" That made me really uncomfortable. And here's the thing, like, so I mean, so for some people, yeah, like apparently they have this idea that hey, I can just be watching this streamer for a week and like, yeah, like she's my friend, right? It doesn't work that way. One of the reasons that I think it doesn't work that way is because that the relationship between a streamer and a viewer is not like the relationship between two actual friends, like two people of equal status, because the streamer and a viewer are not do not have equal status. Obviously, I mean, to me it feels obvious, but there is an unequal power dynamic in that relationship, where the streamer generally has much more like leverage than the viewer. And that means that the relationship, if it becomes more intimate or personal, will be ripe for exploitation. Similar to it's similar to the reasons that you can't be like that. Therapists and doctors cannot be friends with their patients, and teachers cannot be friends with their students. Parents cannot be friends with their children, because having such an unbalanced power dynamic precludes that possibility. So it's not because if your doctor doesn't want to be friends with you, it's not because they hate you and they're trying to be mean. It's because they're trying to be professional, and that's really important. And that applies to me too. I've put thought into how I want to approach this whole stuff as a streamer in light of these incidents, and I decided to myself that I think that streamers trying to be friends with their viewers is arguably unethical. I've seen others. I've been a VTubing fan for a long time. I have seen what happens when other VTubers try to be overly cozy with their viewers, often due to like insecurity and like lack of like boundaries and stuff, and it doesn't usually end well in my opinion. And I realize that that's something I want to avoid, even if it means disappointing some people. I think that this is the best practice going forward, and arguably the VTubing industry would be better off if this was the norm and everybody did this. So that's basically my thought process, my motivation for having this standard and making this statement. Another way of putting it is, you guys know like Saikuno? Basically, I don't want to be Saikuno. I want to make the possibility of me being that kind of person impossible by not even like entertaining the idea of like sliding into my fans' DMs or anything weird like that. I think that's just the best for everyone. Some people be like that. For a second, I thought you said same people be like that, and I was like, wait, does this happen to you too, Leon? Even though you're not a streamer? People were upset by this. Apparently, the two people they were upset enough to unsubscribe. But I'm not losing sleep over it or anything. I'd say it's unethical. Yeah, I'm glad you can tell where I'm coming from. Also, I didn't mean for this to be the case, but you guys can see now that you guys can see my YouTube sidebars. You can see what kind of my most watched subscriptions are. You can see like see Axion, Karis, Penbu, Owafo, my Kamiyoshi, Suisei, Jermic, and CZG Altair. Anyway, I think I'll take this away now. So I did wanna, I know that's kind of like heavy stuff and like maybe like not the most fun, but I felt that was important to address on stream. Suisei mentioned? Yes. Speaking of Suisei, this might be a nice segue into my next topic. Speaking of Suisei, this is something I've yet to mention on stream, I believe. But I was actually commissioned. You guys know how I'm an artist, right? So I was actually commissioned by a certain person to draw an illustration of Suisei. I don't know if I want to say who commissioned me right now. It was a friend. It was someone I know, not like a stranger. And this was like a long while ago, not recently. And the thing is, like, I feel really bad because I've barely made progress on it. Now, granted, the person is like, they said like there's no rush, like it's not like a hard deadline or anything. But still, it's been a long while and I feel bad. Like I've barely started on it. I showed them the sketch and then that's That's like all I've done. Like I've done the sketch and I've like done nothing else. But the thing is, sorry, those of you who've been following me on Discord, you may know that I've been having some like art problems recently. That come from from trauma, from PTSD. Now I've said this before on stream that I think, have I? Basically, I haven't been drawing as much this year as I want to, and it's been one of the things that's been making me the most sad. I envisioned myself doing so much more art this year and being so much more productive, posting much more regularly, and I haven't been able to. And I mean, it is in part because like I'm just, you know, the day-to-day of being like a streamer, of being like a content creator, keeps me quite busy. Especially these days, you know, I have to, you know, sometimes plan my live streams. I've got to like record and edit like my shorts and stuff like that. It doesn't always leave me with that much free time. But I feel like an even bigger reason besides that is the trauma that I have and how it affects my artistic process. So I don't. Is there a visual I can use for this? Because I always feel weird talking against like a blank screen. But basically, or maybe, or actually, I don't know. Should I pull it up right now? Should I pull it up right now? Maybe I will. Okay, but then I have to import the source, and then it'll be like too big at first. Okay, just give me like give me a minute. Hello, File Explorer. It's loading. Windows kun ganbatte. There we go. Okay, that's not like huge at least. Let me make it not hide the chat box. I think I'll probably put it in the easel as well. If I can just only find that layer. So this was something that I drew recently. It may look familiar to those of you who are on Discord. I posted another version of this over the weekend, but in the meantime I have been tinkering with it some more. So for anyone who isn't sure what this is supposed to be the members of Philosophy, the philosopher VTuber unit I'm in, as some of the characters from the amazing digital circus, which I actually only just watched recently. Leon and I, we literally like Leon and I, like, okay, so we were like stuck in the hotel, I think one evening when we were like last week, because it was like raining really hard outside, and they had like a TV mounted on the wall, which was really nice, and we had like nothing better to do. So Leon decides to pull up YouTube on the TV, and we like literally and it was his choice. I was just gonna go along with whatever he like did, but he pulled up like the amazing digital circus, and we watched like we binged the first 5 episodes in one day, like that, and it was my first time watching last week. I like had no idea what to expect. I've been hearing about the series. I know it's quite popular, but I enjoyed it quite a lot. It was really if I had to describe it in one word, or at least if I had to describe why I like it in one word, I would say that it's very existential. Like it makes you the story and the plot, I think, make you question like your life. It raises questions about, like, you know, what is the meaning of life and stuff like that. And honestly, I think those were themes that I needed to hear about and think about at the time. Considering, like, what I've been going through, which I was just talking about. Basically, and for a little, like, clarification for anyone who is not familiar with the series. So basically, the premise of the Amazing Digital Circus is that the characters are people who, from what they know, they are real people who are stuck in, like, in virtual reality as these sort of, like, cartoon avatars. And within the circus, they really don't have, like, full control over themselves because the circus is run by a ringmaster named Kane. So who makes them go on adventures. They're called adventures, but they're actually really, like, basically, like, psychological. Like, they're basically just psychological torment. And the idea is that, like, how do they cope with living in this sort of, like, nightmare where they don't really have full free will, and will they be able to get back to their real bodies and escape the circus? So the premise is very compelling, and after finishing the series, I realized that first of all, it left quite an impression on me. I was left thinking very deeply about the series, and I think the reason for it was I realized that I think that I experience my life like a circus. Like, I also feel like I kind of, like, I don't know always if there's a point to what I'm doing. Like, I feel like life is just kind of, like, rough, and every day I'm kind of just, like, doing what I need to survive, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna be happy. Like that I feel like that's kind of the way I've experienced life for a long time, like life in the digital circus, where I just don't really have full control, and I kind of just do what I need to, and I'm left kind of constantly stressed and confused. And for anyone who doesn't know my backstory, I did have a rough childhood with a family that was not very supportive of me. So in light of that, I think that it explains why why I feel that way, because my life really was like that circus when I was younger, where I did not have true free will, where, you know, I could just be minding my own business, and then someone could, like, suddenly summon me, and I would have to, like, obey them for their entertainment. That was what my life used to be like, truly. And I realized that I've carried that mentality with me through all these years for a long time. And that's kind of why I drew this picture that you see here, as kind of like an emotional outlet for all of these feelings and all this, you know, all this existential dread that I was feeling. What I realized is that even if my life used to be like a circus, or I think even if life is a circus, because I think the moral of the story for me, the moral of the story of the amazing digital circus is that we are all in a circus. Like, even those of us in real life. Like, life is like a circus in that, like, we gotta find a reason for being here. A reason good enough to prevent us from abstracting. Like, there's no inherent reason that we're here. We all need to decide why we're here and make the most of it. And for me, at this point in my life, even if life is a circus, it's my circus. And by that I mean, I am no longer under someone else's thumb, forced to perform for their amusement. Not only that, but I have, you know, even if life is a circus, at least I'm here with my friends. And that's what this picture is supposed to symbolize. Because I think that even if life is rough and confusing, having people to share that experience with really makes a difference. And so, yeah, watching the show and reflecting on it made me picture me and my gen mates as the digital circus characters. So here we have, and I tried to match everyone, I think, to the character that best fit their personality and like role in the group overall. So Karis is Jax, and I'm Ragatha, and Axion is a Kinger. Oh, hi, Karsaroth. You've done great for yourself. Thank you. And that's very sweet of you to say. I would like to think so too. So here's a question for a smart cookie like yourself. Do you believe in a soul afterlife? I'm gonna need a minute to think about that. It's a jester's masquerade. We all wear masks and do our best to perform. Is it a jester's masquerade though? I think that in life, ideally, you should find a way to live authentically. Like I like a lot of people do end up wearing masks, I think, and like not, you know, being their real self and not going and just like kind of like going through the motions. I'm not discounting that that's the case. I'm aware that that's sort of how it is for a lot of people, but I think that's really tragic. I think that at least ideally or theoretically, it is possible to go through life as your authentic self and really being the person you want to be and doing what you want. And I think in a just world that would be possible for more people. I think I would like it if the world were more like that. Sam says, I haven't seen the show yet. Didn't realize it was so complex. I might give it a watch. Now, I didn't realize it was that complex either. It's not like really, I don't know if it's really marketed that way. I think like just, you know, from looking at the promotional materials and stuff, it just kind of looks like a zany, wacky, random show. But I found it very thematically gripping personally. So if you're like me and you like that kind of thing, you like stuff with kind of like deep themes, existential themes, stuff that makes you think, it's actually really perfect. It's true, you need to find a way to not wear a mask or wear one that represents you best. He said it really well, I think. Oh, I'd like to think so. What does that say? I can't read. I need to catch you and your gen mates more on collabs. Actually, speaking of which, speaking of philosophy, we're actually collabing. Did it just say collabing? That's a funny word. Collabing this weekend on Sunday. Now usually we collab every month, and usually it is the last Saturday of each month. But this month, Axion has a family event on Saturday. And for that matter, Leon has something he has to do that day too. So since both men can't make it, we decided to host it on Sunday instead as a concession. And as for the topic of the collab, It'll be on Karis Euphranor's channel, and he wants to do a discussion collab. We don't have all the details ironed out yet, unfortunately, but we will be basically talking about what it means about being a VTuber, especially a philosopher VTuber, I think. And yeah. I think it'll be fun. Personally, I don't know what everyone else will think of it, but I feel like I definitely have some things to say about that topic. But anyway, the topic was Karis's pick, and so yeah. Collabolati. I don't even know what that says. I want to read that. Collaborating. New word. I'll be there. Yeah, sure. It'll be fun to see you. Both men, not care. You noticed. You noticed. It did not slip past you. I mean, you know, Karis is younger than me, right? Because he says he's 60 years old, but my soul is 2,000 years old. Whereas Axe and Leon are older than me, so it's just the narrator's framing, right? You don't have to read too much into it. Anyway, I was also talking about my art. So, right. So this picture, I posted an initial version of it over the weekend, and then since then I've been tinkering with it some more, like I said. The reason being, how do I say this? So my problem, so a little while ago I was talking about how the reason why I haven't been posting as much art this year as I've wanted to. Basically, the reason for that is I have like my trauma affects my art, so it is hard. Basically, I'm too perfectionistic. I think if you wanted to like really like boil it down and maybe be a bit reductivist about it, the problem is that I'm too much of a perfectionist. So it's hard for me to put out work because I worry about I worry too much about getting it to look like just right, and then it ends up taking me like an extremely long time, and I can't get much done. It's been a big issue that I've been starting to try to like actively work on. And one of the ways that I've been doing that, well, I think like the main way that I've been doing that is to try to experiment a little with my art style. So it's a little awkward because I think that you guys could agree that I can draw, right? I don't know what you guys think of my art, but I hope we could agree that I can draw. I know how to draw. My my VTuber model was self-drawn and self-rigged, for anyone who doesn't know. So this right here is what my art style like looks like, or at least, I mean, this is what my art can look like because I made this. But my VTuber model took me like 3 or 4 months to do, and which was not sustainable. Like I can't always like, even though it turned out well, it's not replicable because I can't always take 3 or like, and I can't always take weeks or months to draw things. And that's kind of why like I haven't been drawing as much as I wanted, because the issue was I found that I needed to invest lots and lots of time into a piece in order to get it to look the way I wanted it to, without really hating the way it looked, and it was just really unfeasible. So I what am I saying? So and I was like, I was like feeling really frustrated about this because the way I saw it, I had two choices. Either to stop drawing and just focus on being like a YouTuber, focus on doing things that I thought would get me more numbers, even more money, or focus just on drawing because I didn't have time for both. But a third option that I'm trying to take now instead is trying to see if I can find a way to draw faster. And this requires experimenting with my art style a little bit. So I see there, Karsarat, you said, I love the art. It's really lovely. Thank you. Yeah, it's a little hard to see on the screens, and it's a little small, but I wouldn't say that this is like the same art style that I did my VTuber model with or anything. It's more kind of like the version of this that I posted on Discord over the weekend was more cartoony, but this one is a little bit more rendered, more painterly, and I don't know. I'm just basically trying to experiment with techniques and stuff until I find something that both looks good and that I can do consistently, that I can do fast enough. And in order to get there, I think I just have to do a little bit of trial and error. And it's been a little awkward because I've realized that, like, for some reason, I had this belief that if you experiment with your art style a lot, like if you don't have a consistent art style, that means you're like a bad artist. And like I don't even know why I have that belief or where I picked it up, because I don't think that's like objectively true. I think like logically it makes sense that like I think like experimenting can be good. It means, you know, it means you're growing and questioning. I think like generally in life when you're questioning things, it's better than not questioning. So I don't know why I thought that, but I did. Like I caught myself thinking it, and I felt really bad about like even experimenting at all. But I realized that it was keeping me from growing, and so I tried to push through it. And I made this. It's not colored yet, as you can see. I'm planning on adding coloring it still, and then maybe posting it again. But yeah. I also said in a YouTube post a little while ago that I was working on a long form video. So for now that's been put on hold actually in favor of me experimenting with art, because I think that's the thing that I want to do most right now. And yeah, so I think for the foreseeable future I'm still going to be experimenting with art in pursuit of finding a process that I'm happy with, so that I can draw things, more things, and some of them will be things that I use in my YouTube channel. One of the things I want to be like a VTuber artist, or not VTuber, an artist VTuber so bad, is because I actually want to incorporate, like I want to draw more of my own assets, and incorporate my art into my brand, into like the shorts and the videos that I make. Like I realized that I want to have that kind of distinct identity as a VTuber, and have like my art style be kind of like a prominent part of that. But in order to get there, I need to go through this sort of like experimental period. So, yeah. So please bear with me. Even if it means content production is a little bit slower for a while. But I'm hoping it'll be worth it in the end. I feel like this is the direction that I really need to go in order to be happy with myself as a person and be the best version of Tia Faire, which is something I'm always trying to do. That's a direction I'm always trying to move toward. Anything else I want to say about art before I leave this topic? Well, another thing I wanted. Well, speaking of WIPs, speaking of works in progress, there's another thing I can show. Although it's not art though. It's actually music. So, since we're talking about the amazing digital circus, so something that I wanted to show a preview of something that I've started working on this week. So there's a song. There's a how do I? Okay, without going into too much unnecessary context, there was a song from one of the episodes of the amazing digital circus, a short one, that I decided to cover with one of my friends, a guy named Jermic, whose channel was on my screen earlier this stream. Jermic is a VA and a musician. His voice, actually, we realized sounds a little bit like Jax, one of the characters from the show. And my voice sounds, maybe not always, but can sound, I think, a little bit like Pomni's voice, Pomni being the main character. And Pomni and Jax are the singers of the song in the show. So I had the idea of asking Jermic to cover it with me because of the voice similarity. And we actually have a kind of like a rough draft of it already. Basically, it's got our voices, it's got the instrumental. It doesn't have a whatchamacallit. There's no mixing yet. I haven't started mixing it yet. But I thought that even though it's not done yet, I would show you guys what it sounds like right now. If I'm going to do that, let me mute my background music. Okay, so here it is.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
There it is. I don't know if that was loud enough for you guys. Might have been a little quiet, but let me know if it was too quiet and I can play it again a little louder. So basically the plan with this is I recently bought some new mixing headphones so that I can work on this. For anyone who doesn't know, the difference between mixing headphones is and regular headphones is that mixing headphones have a flat frequency response, which means that none of the frequencies are artificially boosted. Everything sounds the same, so you can listen to things more objectively. Whereas a lot of headphones designed for casual use, like gaming and stuff, have artificially boosted frequencies, so they're not ideal for music production. So the plan was going to be for me to mix the track this week and turn it into a short that I'll post in my channel this coming weekend. Yeah. What else did I want to talk about today? This might end up just being a short stream, honestly. I definitely did want to. I wanted to show the art and the music, and I wanted to mention the collab this weekend. What else? Wait, I have some notes in my notebook. Let me just look at this quickly. Wait, that's not it. Oh, well, I mean, I guess that's close to it. I guess one last thing I can do is to show my schedule for this week. I haven't done that in a while. First, let me update the source so it's not showing the wrong one. Then I'll hide. I'll hide this. Where? Okay. So this is my schedule for the current week. My big head is blocking most of the times. But, so Monday we did Unicorn Overlord, and then the chatting stream is today. On Friday, we're going to do Knights of Azure, continuing with Knights of Azure. And then, as mentioned, this Sunday, I will be appearing on Kara's Euphranor's channel as part of the monthly Philosophy collab. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to this fan art that you guys see here. You guys see this? This was made for me by a viewer named Poka. They first showed up when Philosophy debuted. I think they found us from the Reddit campaign that we did. And I had no idea they were this talented of an artist, but they made this absolutely incredible looking pixel art of me, for me. And they just DM'd it to me one day out of the blue, and I was astounded. I actually started crying, I think, because I remember having a really rough day that day. It was like 10 p.m. when they DM'd me, and I was just so pleasantly surprised. I really think it looks fantastic. I think I asked them do you have how much experience do you have doing pixel art? Have you worked for game studios or anything like that? I don't think they have. I think they just do it mostly for fun, and which is really surprising. I looked at this and I was like, oh, they must be some kind of professional pixel artists, because it just it's so well done, the colors and the values or something. I don't know very much about pixel art. I'm not sure I could do anything like this, but so it was really such an honor. I'm really thankful about this. So shout out to Poka for making this for me. And yeah. Was there anything else oh yeah, wait, I never turned on my background music back on after the song showcase. I think there's always more that I could talk about, but maybe that'll be all for today. Maybe I'll just keep this a short chatting stream, not scream, because I do have a lot of work to do as well. I have some mixing I want to do, and some art. It's mixing and editing and art. So yeah, that might be it. Well, maybe I will say before ending stream, it looks like this stream of mine hasn't gotten as much traffic as my gaming streams, which I thought might be the case. Or maybe it's just maybe it has to do as well with the fact that I haven't been streaming as long. But to me, this just, I don't want to whine too much or anything, but to me this just affirms to me that not doing as many chatting streams as I used to is the right choice. Because I think that here's the thing, the conventional VTubing wisdom is that chatting streams are really great to do as a VTuber, because they're how people get to know you. Apparently, I don't stream on Twitch, but just chatting is one of the most popular categories on Twitch, especially for VTubers. And so, on the one hand, if I never did a chatting stream, if I never did chatting streams, then that would be kind of awkward in one sense, because then you know I'm not really connecting with my audience enough, you know. Like sometimes it's nice to like give updates and just kind of like be real with each other and stuff like that, and it's kind of harder to do that if I'm only doing gaming streams, unless I do what Karis Euphranor does, and every gaming stream is actually a chatting stream for the first like 40 minutes of it. But I feel bad about doing that. I don't think I would want to do that. I think my gaming streams are so long as it is already that it's nice to just like jump into the game, honestly, most of the time. But on the other hand, this affirms to me, like, on the one hand, I feel weird, kind of, like, I feel, okay, here's the thing, I feel like these days I'm mostly like a gaming streamer. Like, I feel like people come to me mainly to watch me play like RPGs, like Unicorn and Overlord and Knights of Azure, which isn't a bad thing. I like RPGs and I like playing games. It's just that that's like that wasn't supposed to be my main niche. Like, I'm supposed to be Tia Faire, idol-philosopher, and justice incarnate, and people are coming to me to watch games. There's a part of me that makes me feel a bit of like genre dysphoria. But this affirms to me that people don't want to. They want to watch me play games. They don't want to watch me chat about random stuff. Maybe unless I was chatting about something like really interesting. Maybe, I mean, some of my philosophy streams have done well. So maybe if I was doing philosophy, but philosophy streams are hard work. They're the most difficult kind of stream for me to do. Harder than just random chatting. So that's why I haven't been doing as many of those. I've been trying to save my philosophy material for my long form videos instead. And yeah, this doesn't make me feel like I want to do just chatting streams too often, because it's like kind of awkward. It's kind of quiet. Not as many people will come. If I'm not having as much fun as when I'm doing gaming streams, and you guys aren't having as much fun, then like I'll do them sporadically, only when I feel like I really need to, but not like every week or anything. It's good to get a chat every now and then. Yeah, every now and then, I suppose. Just chatting is so peak. Oh, well, I'm glad you think so. I don't know if today's stream in particular was peak, but it does mean a lot to me that you came, and I hope you enjoyed yourself, Zero. I don't know, well, maybe I'll save that thought. Games are fun. Games are fun. I mean, I can't really entirely blame the viewers either, because I feel like I do really enjoy doing gaming streams, and probably more than I enjoy doing chatting streams, and maybe the viewers can tell, you know, maybe my enjoyment is what makes the gaming streams worth sticking around for. I don't know. Philosophy of necessary vacations and cute animals. Yes, and art. Don't forget the art. Where is it? I hope you enjoyed streaming today. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 6. I'm not gonna lie and say it's the most fun I've ever had, but I used to be a lot more nervous for chatting streams and streaming in general. So in light of that, I mean, today I wouldn't say that I feel nervous so much as awkward when it's so quiet. I prefer streaming to a bit of a bigger audience than this. That's generally my preference. It's not so, when it's quiet during gaming streams, it doesn't feel as quiet because of the game, you know? The game provides something. It provides sound, it provides presence. But when it's an empty hall in a chatting stream, I think you can tell a lot more, and I don't like it. I don't know. There's something about that doesn't sit well with me. But I do appreciate those of you who did come around. It was nice to show off the animal pictures and everything. So thank you for that. That's understandable. Yeah. If there's okay, and on a related note, like this is not directed at any one person in particular. You out there, you at home, if you have any feedback for me on how I could make my chatting streams more entertaining, or like, you know, if you want me to do them more often, or like what kinds of topics you'd like to hear me talk about, let me know. Like maybe sometime I could do like maybe like an Ask Me Anything stream, like maybe like a answering Marshmallow questions stream. Marshmallow, like the platform, I mean, and yeah, maybe that would be more enticing, and maybe that's something people would want to see. But sometimes as a streamer, it's like it's hard to know what you're doing wrong, and it's hard to know what your fans want if there's no like active feedback process. And like I'm not like blaming anyone for not giving me feedback either. Like it's not your job to give me feedback. It's like you know, like you're not being paid for it. Like, you know, you are welcome to just show up and enjoy things without giving input. But from a streamer's perspective, I think it is really hard sometimes, surprisingly hard to know exactly what people would want. And I try to give feedback whenever I can to the streamers that I do watch. So if through saying this, it causes you to realize, hey, there actually is a thing I'd like Tia to do that she isn't doing, please let me know. Don't assume that the reason I'm not doing it is because like I don't care and would never do it. Like maybe we can make it work. 50% more Leon. Somehow I'm not so surprised that you would say that. Okay, anyway, I think this is a good point to wrap up. I'm gonna go maybe grab a snack and grab a snack and then rest a little and then maybe get back to work. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day too. Thank you for watching. This was Tia Faire channel. I hope to see you again. Happy justicing!